Hello, Scrappy Tribe. This is Lisa Graham from Creative Life Scrapbooking. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this layout I created for Feature Project Friday. And this is the June 7th of 2024 edition. This was a really fun layout to create. And although I used patriotic or like products relating to the 4th of July, you, of course, can recreate this using any theme that you like. I wanted to give you a brief demo of one of the techniques I used while creating this layout, and that is these stars here that I did on the white cardstock. I'm going to save the demos of the instructions for the striped and the dotted stars for those who purchase the handout, and you can find those on our CLS website. That's at creativelifescrapbooking.com. And click on the shop and then click on Feature Project Friday and you'll find this. There's an advisor use copy available and also personal use. So, okay, give me just a second. I'm going to clear this off here and I will show you how I made these fun stars. Okay, well, I love creative memory stickers and embellishments, but sometimes there just aren't enough in a pack. To do what I want. That definitely was the case here. I wanted stars all over the background here, this background for these 4 photos or, embellishment clusters, whatever you want to put in there. So I thought, how am I going to create some stars? We don't have a current star punch. Some of them aren't the right sizes that I wanted, and that's kind of tedious, I'll say. Punching and gluing, which I did do over on the side here. But I didn't want to do that all over here. So I came up with a bit of a solution, and it's a little 50 solution too, I think. I used the sticker paper that's, the paper that surrounds the stickers. It's the excess. I usually peel it off the backings so I can access the stickers or cut them out easier to place them on my layout when I'm designing. So this time I thought, well, let's use this here. So I'm going to just show you here with this smaller sticker. I'm going to cut off the excess and, no secret here. Leave as much on here as you can, but I'm kind of messy and this edge right here is not very big. I use Daubers and that's going to go right over it and make a huge mess. Ask me how I know, because that's how I first did it. So instead I'm going to use a scrap piece of a cardstock. You can see here I did one of those little dotted ones, which you can pick up the instructions to see how I did that. But all I'm going to do is, add this to the edges just to extend the buffer zone there for when I add ink. And it's still sticky there. So I'm going to just very randomly, I'm not really paying attention to anything except I want to make sure that opening of the sticker is clear. And that's it. And it's still sticky here because I did not cover, can you see it? There, I didn't cover the whole back of the sticker. So what I'm going to do is get some baking soda. Baking soda is pH neutral. And, I've seen a lot of people saying to use cornstarch, baby powder. You really don't want to use that. Definitely if you're putting anything on your layout. And I'm just going to continue that trend because those are not pH neutral. Cornstarch is food. Baby powder has some chemicals in there. So that's why I use the baking soda to de-stickify the stickers. Okay, so that's what I'm doing there. And very simple. I love these sponge daubers. I will put a link to like this little container and the daubers. And also I prefer to use distress inks over our pens. I love our pens. I love them, but I like to save them more for journaling and artwork versus this type of thing. Plus, I love our pens, but we don't have all the colors. I wanted a deeper red than this one here because of the paper that I used here. It was deep, and this is more bright, right? And so we have options, but I love these distress inks by Tim Holtz. These are minis. They sell larger pads. This is my favorite one. It's called Vintage Photo, and I use that to edge everything almost when I edge things. It's just a really nice brown. And it's easier. You can use your pen, of course, by using the round end, and I just put it right on here when I'm doing something like this, but it's just much easier to have a nice surface, and you can ink that up. And then all I did was I held this down very much with my hands, and I went from the outside in. If you can see that, I'm going from the outside in, and you can control how dark you make it by how much ink you add to it. And that was it. I just varied it with the different inks, the different stars, and I just had a grand old time. Oops, it's got one stuck underneath there. I just messed with it around and put them randomly. So it's very fun. I love that. So that's one of the things that I did there to add some interest to my layout. Another thing I want to suggest is when you do punch art or paper piecing or anything like this, try mixing it up with patterned paper. It gives it a really nice oomph, I'll say. Look at the cone compared to this one here that I did first out of cardstock, which is really easy to work with, right? I think it's easier to work with than our pattern paper, but look at how much that looks like. It looks like watercolor. Looks like watercolor. In fact, that's the name of the paper. When I print out the instruction, or when I create the instruction sheets, I use the name of the papers that CM has. And the way I find that out is by looking at the digital kits, which are online. You can just do the preview and it shows you what each paper is called. So if you have the instructions, you're wondering, how did you come up with that name? It wasn't me, it was CM. So, and this absolutely is called, I can't remember exactly, but watercolor is in the word of that paper. And I just loved it. I love the effect that it gives. And I just thought it really makes a difference when you mix it up with that little bit of pen detail, little bit of ink around the edges. And then of course, I don't know if you can see it, but I used the clear shimmer pen, which, oops, that's silver. Silver's very silver. Silver I used on here. Can you see that? If you can see it, it's dark. But clear is clear. Oh, it's not going to show up for it. Trust me, it's glittery goodness. It's very fun. So give it a try. And I'd love to see what you come up with. I want to thank you for stopping by and visiting and checking us out. And again, if you want to see the instructions, all the instructions, lots of photos for absolutely everything, including dimensions and suggestions and alternatives, please visit our website and download the instructions. And we really thank you for your support. It helps us to do what we love, and that is creating and sharing. Thanks, and happy 4th of July, and have a great scrappy day.